Hi everyone, welcome to my video about my stock earnings for the month of September 2022 for video and photographs. I'll first start off and tell you what I've been up to in the month of September, and then I'll get into my stock photography videography earnings for the month of September, starting with Shutterstock. So I had planned in September to upload a pile of festivity photos for Christmas and the New Year, but I got distracted when the camera hire service Budget Cam suddenly showed that it had a Canon R7 available to hire. So I put my stock uploading priorities to the side, and I went to Budget Cam and hired the Canon R7. The reason I did that is because my Canon 70D is outdated now. It doesn't film with 4K video at 60p, and buttons and things are starting to break off it. So when I can afford it, I'm going to upgrade to another camera. And I thought the R7 would be a good choice because it will future-proof my stock videography and photo portfolio. The future of stock, I think, is in video, plus other niche markets like book covers and things like that. So I think the emphasis on a new camera will be on a strong video performance, and the R7 does 4K fine, which downsizes from 6K to 4K with extremely good resolution, and it also does 4K 60, so if you need to slow down footage to half speed at 24 frames or 30 frames, you can do that. The photo side of the R7 I'm not so impressed with because it has this super high resolution 32 megapixel sensor, and I think at the moment there are not enough lenses to in the Canon range to make the most out of that resolution. So I hired a kit lens with the R7, the 18 to 150 millimeter kit lens, and I've been testing with that to see how it performs with this high resolution sensor. So stay tuned for that video, which will be coming out in the first or the second week of October, when I give you my summary of how I think the R7 and the kit lens performed together. Physically, my body has started to finally repair itself. I've actually started walking without a limp for the first time in about 3 or 4 months, so that's great. I'm more mobile now and I feel more comfortable getting out in the field and doing longer distances with walking and stuff like that. So my body is finally starting to turn around. Okay, without further ado, let's get into the stock photography and videography earnings for September. And I'll start off with Shutterstock. Shutterstock had a real surprise for me in September in that it gave me the lowest earnings I've had since the first months that I started doing stock photography way back in 2016. It was super surprising and super disappointing. I only had 28 sales of photos, totally no video sales at all. There were, 3 or 4 on-demand sales of pics of over $1. One was of the Royal Stables in The Hague, where I was in the centre of The Hague, and I just thought that would make a good composition where the Queen, or the King now, keeps the horses for the royal carriage and all the other things that the royal family needs them for. That photo sold for $2.59, and that was an editorial photo. There was another commercial photo of an underground Nazi World War II bunker, which is part of the Atlantic Wall structure that stretched from Scandinavia down to, I think, southern France on the Atlantic and North Sea coast. How much I made for that photo will appear here. And there was another photo of a bunch of olives in some wooden tubs, and that photo was a commercial photo for $1.29. I have to keep stopping this video because I'm getting coughing fits. Yes, the autumn cold season has started. So in total for Shutterstock I made $9.18. As I said, the worst month I've had since I began stock photography. It would be easy to criticize them because of the low performance, but in all honesty, I haven't been uploading many photos and videos. The only photos and videos I uploaded to them in September were the ones that I made with the Canon R7. So very disappointing for September with Shutterstock. IEM had quite a lot of sales in September. There was about 10 of them overall. The disappointing thing, however, was most of them were sub 20 or 30 cents. Another disappointing thing was that most of the photos were of the mustard jar, which I always seem to sell a lot of, and only one photo was of a different subject, and that was of a cute Tasmanian wallaby. Another coughing fit coming up. I made $2 for IEM. With Dreamstime, I've a portfolio of 2,300 assets, which are mostly photos, and I made $3.35 with Dreamstime. A highlight was a commercial pic of a Tasmanian beach and sand flats, which I made about 4 years ago. That was 35 cents. And the biggest earning photo was of a editorial photo of a VW Combi interior that was made during the air-cooled VW exhibition in The Hague. And that one earned me $2. And now to my other small fish agencies. That's Deposit Photos, Big Stock, 123RF, Can Stock, and Wire Stock. Total for all of those agencies I made $5.75. And now to iStock Getty, where I had a pretty average month as well. There were 3 highlights. One was a big photo sale of just this random subject of a pile of cigarettes dumped on the footpath at a tram stop. And it's an editorial photo because I think you can see the brand on the cigarette butts. And that photo sold for $13.30. I also sold a commercial photo, my eyes watering, a commercial photo of another Tasmanian wallaby that was taken on Bruny Island several years ago, and that was for $1.11. That was commercial. And another commercial one of a wilderness walkway in southern Tasmania in the rainforest there, and I sold that for $1.59. All up with iStock Getty, I made $22.67. And now on to Alamy. Last month in August, I had 3 really solid photo sales, and I think I made around $50. September was a lot more disappointing. I sold about 6 photos, but they were all to a Chinese agency or a Chinese customer, and they were all sub 20 cents. So in total I made 32 cents for Alamy out of those 6 photo sales, which is not a good trend. Okay, now on to Adobe Stock. I had 17 sales, another average month, actually sub-average or below average with Adobe Stock. There were 3 highlights. One of those highlights was of helium canisters lying on the car park pavement, and I think the youngsters use those heliums to fill up balloons and then use the helium in the balloon to get high, which is a very hazardous and dangerous thing to do, and I do not recommend it. but it's in the news, so obviously these kinds of photos sell because of news agencies needing them. That was $1.35, that photo, and a commercial image. I made a self-portrait of me sitting in the car and pretending to cut the seatbelt off with a special tool. And there were no brands or anything in the photo, so I could sell that as a commercial image as well, and that sold for $1.19. Finally, I sold a photo of some horses, or wild horses, which I'm really fond of. This image is in the Osvardarsplassen, and these are horses that have been brought over from Poland many years ago. They're kind of semi-wild, and they're let free in this nature reserve, and they were fighting with each other. And this one sold for $1.18 as a commercial photo. All up for Adobe Stock, I only made $11.45. Okay, and now for the highest performing stock agency for September, and talk about coming back from the dead. I think I haven't sold any assets on Pond5 since May of 2022, and I think that was only for $3 something. And unbelievably, in September I sold 4 assets, and they were also at half decent prices. I sold 2 really poor videos where I went to a coffee shop and asked the owner if I could video someone making a joint. Coffee shops in the Netherlands are actually where people go to smoke marijuana or cannabis, and it's legal in the Netherlands in a very controlled way. So I thought it would be a good subject for stock footage. And the owner asked one of his customers if they were okay for me to do that, and the customer said yeah. So I took a handheld video of this guy rolling a joint and then lighting it. I think I did the best with the ISO, but it was very dimly lit, but it was okay. It was an editorial video, and it was very realistic because it was in situ in a real coffee shop. And those 2 videos sold for $8.62 as editorial videos. I also sold a video where we were at a castle in Limburg, and in the moat of this castle are hundreds and hundreds of huge European or common carp. And I just hung over the wall of the castle, I think either with my phone or my little Panasonic video camera. I think it was with my phone. And I just videoed all of these carp schooling around waiting to be thrown food from other people on the wall of the moat. And that commercial video sold for $33. The final video was also a commercial video, and it was of like a 5-second clip, very brief, very wobbly. I was sitting in a boat and we were going around the canals of Amsterdam, and we were fishing plastic pollution out of the canals, like plastic bottles and bags and things. And I was just using my phone, and as one of the people in the boat dipped a net in the water and pulled out this plastic bottle, I managed to capture a very wobbly 5-second or so clip. But it was enough to net me $31.20 on Pond5, which I'm very happy about. And it also goes to show that it's good to have the right equipment and to be perfect with your composition, your lighting, and your stability. But if the subject is not interesting to the customer, then it's just a waste of time and energy. The most important thing with photos and videos for the stock agencies, as long as they fulfill the basic criteria for acceptance, is that the subject is what people are interested in and they need content for. And it just goes to show a wobbly 5-second clip is enough for someone to pay me $31. So for Pond5 I made $81.52 in September, and it really saved my month. If I hadn't have made any sales with Pond5, I would have been in a very sorry state indeed. I even got a payout with Pond5 halfway through the month, so that was another surprise that they showed me. If anything in this video is helpful to you, then please give it a like, and that will help me to make more videos for you guys to learn from, or hopefully enjoy. Okay, in September I made $132.57. So I got lucky in September. How did you guys go? I've been watching the comments lately in my videos, and I've noticed an increasing trend in the people watching my video commenting how much better they're doing with their stock photography and videography portfolios. So that is really good to see, actually. I'm obviously spreading myself too thin with a full-time job, a YouTube channel, a family, and God knows what other things I put into my scattered brain schedule. So if you guys have been triumphing with your earnings in September, I want to hear all about it. If you've been bombing out or getting lucky like me, I want to hear about that too. Alright, see you in the next video, and that'll be the Canon R7 review with the 18 to 150mm kit lens. See you later. Bye.